Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to talk about utopias, utopian philosophies, and bad kids. You know, those kids that early on you're looking at them and you're just like, you are a bad kid. You're not going to amount to anything. No, you don't. You don't actually know those kids. But we hear it. We hear it. There are some people who the bar is set so low for because the expectations are low. They behave in a manner that, well, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. There are kids who are told this so much that that's the way they behave. Nobody expects any different of them. It's reinforced that this is what they're going to be. This is how it's going to turn out. There's nothing they can really do to change it. We know that's wrong. We know that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We know that kids act out. We know that it lowers self-esteem and lowers a lot of other things down the line. We know that's the wrong way to do it. So, why do we do it with all of humanity? When somebody talks about a utopian ideal, people will often say, well, that sounds great, but it'll never happen. Why not? Because humans are selfish or lazy or whatever the negative attribute is. Humans aren't anything. We're tool-using primates. We aren't as cool as we think we are. I think that we're doing a disservice, because what's happened is that we portray ourselves in this negative light, all of humanity, all of society, based on anecdotal stuff. But we forget about all of the anecdotal stuff that shows we're positive. We don't use that as an example. We use the negative stuff, and that's what goes out there. That's what showcases humanity to ourselves, and that's what we reflect. Just like the kid who's always told he's bad, not going to amount to anything. Yeah, for some people, that creates a drive. I'll prove you wrong, and good for them, but for most, that's not the effect. I don't see why it wouldn't be true for everybody. If it's true for an individual, why would it not be true for a society made up of individuals? Of course it is. If you want a utopian society, you have to expect the best from people. You have to be optimistic. There's a really cool story about Lord of the Flies going around right now. I'm not going to tell the whole story because there's an article that actually has a great summary of it, and it's a really good job. So we're just going to roll with that. I'll put it down below. But generally, you know, we all know that story. Lord of the Flies, schoolboys stranded on an island, and it goes all wrong because humans are bad, selfish, lazy, don't want to tend to the fire, all that stuff. The thing is, that actually happened in real life. Only it didn't go bad. Kids survived, thrived for more than a year. I think we can learn a lot from that story. And, you know, when you're reading it, the researcher, the person who actually uncovered all of this, you can tell that they get it. That this shows that humanity isn't innately evil. I just hope that everybody else does. I hope that they get that Lord of the Flies does not exist because humanity is like that. Lord of the Flies exists because humanity thinks humanity is like that. That's why it resonated. That's why it became a classic. Because it portrayed the darker aspects. The taboo. But the fact that it is taboo kind of shows that that's not the norm. That's not the way most people are. That's the outlier. Most people are good. Most people would be like the real life story. I don't know that we should center our society, our entire civilization, based around the idea that we should really take into account those outliers. Those people that aren't going to play by the rules, that aren't going to show social responsibility. And I know right now, with a whole bunch of people not showing social responsibility, it seems like a weird time to bring this up, but I think it's the perfect time to bring it up. Because we don't expect better of them. It's self-fulfilling. We don't expect better of them. There's a lot of times when we're discussing that ilk that we talk about how they're not educated, that they won't get educated. And for those that are new to the channel, when I say education, I do not mean college. You don't need a degree to be educated. We hold them to a low standard. So of course they behave that way. I think it's important for everybody to remember that we are the example for those younger than us. And that if we become negative, they'll become negative. They'll become jaded. They'll buy into this system. If we want utopia, we have to build it step by step, and we have to show that it's possible. And it is. Humanity isn't innately evil. Humanity just is. It's what we make of it. And the more we divide ourselves between enlightened and those others, the more it falls apart. Because it's much easier to be the selfish and lazy. You have to work to want to have social responsibility. It's easier. So if we reinforce the idea that people are lazy, that people are innately evil, that it's hard work to become good, which side wins? We should probably focus more on saying that it is possible, not that it isn't. We're not there yet, but we're going to get there because you're going to help us. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.